Well. It's been so much shit going on. Hannah and Jeremiah, bye-bye. Olandria, get behind me, sis. Taylor and Clark, count your motherfucking days. Casa Amor was Casa Amor, maybe? Shit about to get messy. What's up, y'all, and welcome back to Deuce with the News. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back to watch my videos. If you are new here, please like, comment, and share this video. My goal is to get to 700 subscribers by the end of the month. I don't think we're gonna make that, so let's start it all over again. Let's get to 700 subscribers by August. I'm just saying. I did gain a lot of subscribers though. So I'm very, very thankful for the people who subscribed to my channel. When I first started back doing Love Island, I had 605 subscribers. I now have 630. So, you know, we doing something. We doing something. And I'm appreciative of every single one of y'all. So virtual claps to the team, okay? Virtual claps to the game. So as y'all know, I did not do daily reviews and recaps this week. I was super busy and I was not going to be able to push out videos every single day. So this will be a weekly recap. I think this is what considered week 3. Yeah, because I think we're going into week 4. But these are for episodes 18 through 21. This is considered week 4. Week 4. So yeah, let's get into some things. So because this is a weekly recap, I am not going to go episode to episode. I'm just going to kind of break things down. Bear with me. We might be everywhere, but it's going to be juicy. That's all that matters. So episode 18 starts off after the recoupling, of course. I'm going to just kind of break down where the couples are at the moment. Iris and Jeremiah did have a talk and basically let each other know, like, hey, we're both feeling like friend vibes. I feel like it was a pretty good talk, and I think it's important, or actually nice, like when couples realize, hey, this ain't it. We tried, but I don't see it. Like, that's cool or whatever. And it was giving bestie anyway. We all know he feeling Adriana, and I mean, do your thing. They have good chemistry, so I ain't mad at it. Sierra and Nick, of course, y'all know they was kind of funking a little bit. They had a little beef. Very minor, very small, but she did feel a way about him. He did turn up at the little milkmaid challenge, the disgusting ass challenge. He did do too much with Adriana, whatever her name is. Y'all know who I'm talking about. He did way too much, and especially for somebody who just got the cookies. You just had some cutty last night, and you acting like this the day after. That was pretty embarrassing. For Sierra, at least. And so they have a talk or whatever, and they kind of get things straight. She like, I need you to reassure me a little bit. He didn't do that. So did they really get things straight? No, they absolutely did not, actually. He just kind of added fuel to the fire. She just felt like she wasn't being heard. He kind of still said that he was exploring. And it's just like, he was like, you're free to explore. And she like, but I don't want to. And it was like, that was it. You know, that's kind of where he left it. So they were kind of still funking throughout the episode. Ace and Shelly are getting even more comfortable with each other. They are really feeling each other. Like, they look like a couple in love, not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. And y'all know I love Ace and Shelly. But even when I like a certain couple, I have no problem speaking on things that they do wrong. And I feel like Ace is finally trying to get it right. He got his eyes on Shelly. He not really worried about nobody else. And let's point out the fact that y'all thought he was gonna switch up on her for Adriana, and he didn't. Clock it, okay? Because y'all always try to go in on Ace, and I get it, you know, he didn't have some times where I wanted to square up too, but it's like, he doing better. Shout out to you. Taylor and Olandria, still doing what they doing. Not much. Hannah and Pepe are heating up. They are, you know, getting real comfortable with each other. She says she really like him. She's going a deeper connection with him. And I'm like, cool. I mean, you better. You didn't already get a cookie up too, so I would hope. Austin and Amaya, don't really see it for them. Austin, no. Of course, Huda is single, so she doesn't really have nobody to talk to, and right now she's just kind of dwindling in the wind. We did see that Olandria tried to make do like a little date thing with Taylor on a dock. She had made him like a little charcuterie board with some candles, all that good shit. But the most exciting thing that happened this episode was the recoupling. So we get the recoupling. Of course, this is when America was voting for their top guy and girl. Now, the last remaining girls that was standing was Iris, Hannah, and Amaya. And for the boys, it was Jeremiah, TJ, and Pepe. So, of course, the Islanders have to choose who they wanted to vote off. And ultimately, they decided to vote Hannah off for the women and Jeremiah off for the boys. Now, let's talk about it, right? Because I thought that, honestly, I thought Austin was going to get voted off. Did I say TJ? It was not TJ. No, it was Jeremiah, Austin, and Pepe. TJ was safe. TJ and Adrena was safe because of course, they knew bombshells. They just came in. But I thought Austin was going to be voted off because it's the obvious choice, right? But they ended up voting off Jeremiah. And I know a lot of people were saying like it's because he's jealous. They're jealous of him. I don't really get that. I don't. I think this whole cast, the Islanders this season has been very strategic in the way that they move. So I think it was a strategic move on their part, not a jealous move. I think they're thinking about the end game and they want to win. And yeah, Jeremiah had to go. I think that's what it was. Like I said, I don't think it was rooted in jealousy. I hate that everybody just try to pinpoint jealousy for everything. I don't think it's that. Hannah was devastated. Hannah cried. Okay, Hannah cries though, we know that. But Hannah was devastated. She broke down and she really didn't understand why she was getting voted off either. And in the dressing room, you know, when they go and get their stuff and get ready, she was like, I don't know, it's kind of hard for me to talk to the people who just voted me off. Honestly, I thought that maybe Amaya would have left only because she didn't have a connection. Amaya or Iris? Probably Iris because Iris is new, just coming in. But Hannah leaving was a little crazy. My only guess for the reason why they chose her is because while they were getting ready for the recoupling, she did say that she kind of missed Charlie. So maybe that was like they thought about that in their head while deciding on her to leave. Like, oh, well, maybe she don't really want to be with Pepe, you know? So, you know, you got to watch your words. You got to watch your words ahead of a recoupling. When Jeremiah left, Huda did pull him to chat and she kind of just like apologized to him, I think, a little bit. And, you know, they did share a hug and he kissed her on her forehead. She kissed him on the cheek. It was a cool little moment. It was kind of like an end, a real end to like their story, their era. He also did talk to Adrena. Of course, they shared a passionate kiss again. I'm kind of mad that we didn't get to see that play out because I think that would have been like another connection that would have been really, really good. But yeah, it's unfortunate. It happens. It's Love Island. Somebody gotta go. Episode 19, they pretty much, everybody are kind of talking about why they chose who they chose, like in their own little couples or whatever. Shelly did tell Ace that they chose Hannah because they felt like she explored two connections and they felt that Iris and Amaya deserved that chance to have that exploration or whatever. But for me, I just find it so interesting that this cast feels like if you're exploring connection, you need to go. That's a little odd, right? Because the whole purpose is to explore a connection. Not really understanding that. I mean, I guess last season they did give Janae that choice too, that chance too, because they feel like Janae got the short end of the stick every time. So I think they was kind of like feeling for Amaya. So it's like, let's give her a lifeline. I ain't mad at it, honestly, because I wasn't really sad to see Hannah and Jeremiah go. Don't shoot the messenger, but I wasn't. Do I feel like sending Jeremiah home was crazy? Absolutely. Absolutely. But I wasn't like devastated. Sierra and Nick did talk on the dock about, you know, her feelings because that night she had went to bed and she just went into bed, put her eye mask down and turned the fuck over and went to sleep on my boy. And he was like, oh damn, he felt that shit and you better have. You get your shit together. Are you cool? So clearly it made him get shit together. So they talk on the dock and he basically like, no, I'm very close to being closed off with you. I don't want you to think that I don't feel the same way as you do, because she was starting to feel like she had more feelings for him than he did for her. And you know, when you're a girl and you feel like that, it's like, okay, I gotta pull back a little bit, because the men always have to love the lady more for it to work. That's just my opinion. But they talk and yeah, they get on the same page. All is well. She said she feel like they are the best that they ever been. Cheers to you, sister. Of course, episode 19 is also where Casa Amor begins. The Islanders, this year, the women are going to Casa Amor. The guys are staying in the main villa. So Ariana comes in looking bomb, per usual. The dress, need the deets. Like her wardrobe this season, T. I mean, it's always T, but I need the deets on that dress. That dress is cute as fuck. So she comes in, she has like, they're setting up for a kissing challenge. So the boys are blindfolded and they have noise canceling headphones on. They got music playing. They don't know what the fuck going on. The girls are all sitting down. Ariana comes in with cards, big cards, and she's dropping them and basically telling them, y'all get ready. It's time to go to Casa Amor. All the girls are screaming and it's crazy because they're doing it silently. They're like, Amaya running around in circles and shit. Like, but I get it. You know, being in one place for 3 weeks, 4 weeks is crazy. So to even be able to leave is probably like a good feeling. Like they get to go in a car and drive. What the fuck? Like, what the hell? Like, I know that shit felt good. But they run out to get their luggage, of course, in the front. Huda do the little feet kick together that Miguel did last season. Not copying though. I was like, copying? Girl, get your own swag. Get your own steez. Like, why are we copying off last season? But whatever. They go to Casa Amor. Then 5 new girls? I think it was 5 new girls who came in to do the kissing challenge for the guys. Now, the guys are still blindfolded. The noise canceling headphones are still on. The girls, you know, they all have their fair share of kisses with the guys. I do want to point out the fact that most of the girls did not kiss every single guy. I know Coco didn't kiss Austin or Nick, but she did like kiss on their body. I think it was another girl who didn't really kiss. I want to say it was Jaden. But yeah, most of the girls just like did the most with the people they were interested in. Vanna, for instance, she did the most with Ace. But she did say coming in that she was interested in Ace. So let's talk, I didn't even tell y'all the girls' names. So the new Casa Amor ladies are Coco, Clark, Vanna, Grayson, Jaden. That's it. Ultimately, the people who end up coupling up together is Pepe and Grayson, Hannah 2.0. He might got a type. Austin and Jaden, Vanna and Ace, Taylor had 2 girls stand on his heart. 2 bad, beautiful women too. Coco and Clark, they both stood on his heart. And let me point this out. I found it very interesting that Coco stood on Taylor's heart because I feel like she kissed Ace with a little bit more passion than she did Taylor. So I was very confused by that move. And for me, it came off very strategically because of course, the bombshells, the people who come in, because Casa Amor people are still considered bombshells, I guess. But they get to watch the shows. Like they get to watch the episodes before going in. Like that's probably the only thing they get. They don't have their phone, so they get to watch the episodes. So I feel like they know, well they do know, not feel. They do know what's going on inside the villa. And I feel like they use that for them, for an advantage for them. So we all know how Ace be when he first coupled up with a girl. I think she didn't want to choose him initially because it's like the way he treated Amaya, it would have fizzled and burned. That's where I was coming from. That's where I think that's why she stood on Taylor Hart. You know, to kind of like shake it up. This nigga think he got me, but he really don't type shit. Cool or whatever, but it's like everybody gonna be strategic. Like that's how we moving. But that happens. And then Taylor ultimately chose Coco to couple up with. So Nick and TJ did not have anybody to couple up with. So Clark was able to choose between Nick and TJ, and she chose Nick. TJ is now single and vulnerable, and he has 24 hours to make a connection, or he could be leaving the villa. Now, in Casa Amor, the new guys are, what are they again? Chris, JD, Chris, JD, Elan, Brian, Zach K, Zach C. Now, of course, they also do a kissing game. Y'all know they love the kissing on Love Island. So ultimately, the people who end up coupling up is Elon and Sierra, Iris and Zach C, Brian and Adrena, and then Shelly had 2 people stand on her heart, Chris and Zach K. Ultimately, she chose Chris to couple up with. Huda and JD also coupled up, and then Olandria and Amaya had nobody that's that on their heart. So because Zach K was the only guy left to choose from, Zach K was able to choose who he wanted to couple up with, and he chose Olandria, which left Amaya single and vulnerable, and she also had 24 hours to make a connection or risk being dumped from the villa. The most interesting parts about this episode, besides everybody, the ladies leaving to Casa Amor and Casa Amor beginning, that's a very pivotal point in Love Island, I would have to say is the fact that Amaya went straight into beast mode. I'm talking about no plan. Okay, she said, no, I'm not going anywhere. I'm gonna form a connection. So y'all know Olandria is like a slow burner. She don't kiss outside challenges. It takes her a while to kind of get physical. So her and Zach K are having talks, and they seem to have a lot in common. But in my eyes, what was missing for him is the fact that she wasn't kissing him. Now, him and Amaya have a talk, and Amaya asks for a kiss. Now we know Amaya, we know what she's doing. She's trying to get saved. So the kissing, I was just like, fuck, because it's very thirsty to me. At this moment, I didn't view it too much as thirsty, but she did kiss him again in the next episode and asked for a kiss. And I'm like, girl, if you just don't stop asking this man for a kiss. But she knew that's the way to kind of like have an advantage over Olandria, because we all know she don't kiss people. So, yeah, she kisses Zach K, and they have a few little chats, but it doesn't seem like that's his reasoning for, like, you know, being interested or whatever, because he did speak about the fact that Olandria haven't kissed him, and he do end up asking her for a kiss, and she politely declined. She just says she's not there for that, you know, or she's not there yet, but they can like kiss during challenges and shit, like, you know. Chris and Shelly are pretty much hitting it off pretty good. They are having conversations, talking. She do seem to like him, or at least be interested, which is cool. That's the whole point of Casa Amor. Back in the villa, TJ is taking a liking to Vanna, and I think that's because she can kind of probably feel that Ace ain't really feeling her, but I mean, it's only the first day. It's not really too much going on. It seemed like the boys are very excited to have some new women though. Nick is also taking a liking to Jaden, who was coupled up with Austin. He said he's really attracted to her, and they have a few conversations. And I mean, I can see the attraction. She kind of reminds me of Amaya in a different way. Like, she kind of goofy and kooky a little bit too, a little quirky. But he do like her. Like, you could tell he's attracted for sure. Episode 20, of course, day 2 of Casa Amor. Everybody is kind of like, you know, just filling each other out still, whatever. A few different people are having conversations now. One thing that I noticed is Ace and Coco started to talk, and Taylor and Clark started to talk and gain interest in each other. Taylor and Clark seem to hit it off pretty much instantly. Like, they really are feeling each other. And Ace and Coco are, you know, having like a slow talk, but he does seem to like her as well, as much as she seems to like him. Back in Casa Amor, Zach K and Olandria are having talks, but I mean, how much talk? It's just, it's not much to really do, you know? So like I said, Amaya is not playing fair when it comes to Zach K. She pulls him into the room that you could kind of like spin to have the door closed or whatever, get some more privacy. She pulls him into there, try to have a chat. They chat, but she asks him for a kiss. And I'm just like, girl, it's giving thirsty, my girl. And I hate that Amaya gotta pull that card to like get a man to fuck with her. Because first off, I don't see it for Zach K. I don't. Zach K gives me very bad energy. He rubs me very wrong. And I don't know what it is about him, you know? I feel like, I don't know, it's just something. Honestly, I think it's the way, and this will come up in maybe the next 2 episodes or even the next one, but I feel like he tries to minimize Amaya's emotions. Like, when she's crying or she's feeling away, he like tries to like calm her down, you know, kind of in a way, but the way it comes off is just like, who the fuck are you? Okay, because she had a conversation with JD as well, and JD was very like, no, it's okay, like let it out, like you don't have to be ashamed, like if that's what you're feeling, feel it. And I like that about him because it's like reconfirming, you know, she had a lot of issues with people. Ace and Austin both kind of made her feel uncomfortable with like her emotions and like showing how open she is and how much she like, you know, them or whatever. Just how her quirkiness I feel like was too much for them. And so I think she got a little PTSD in the villa with that. So for Zach K to kind of like diminish and try to calm her down, I don't like that about him. And I just don't, I'm not really feeling him. Like I'm not. Sierra is really feeling it. She is missing Nick a lot, and in her mind it's hard to like focus on Elan and when she's thinking about like what Nick is doing in the villa, like, you know. And little does she know, Nick ain't really got too much going on at the moment. He is coupled up with Clark, but Clark is feeling Taylor. Taylor is feeling Clark. You ain't got nothing to worry about, Sierra. Actually, well, you do, but not that. At least you ain't gotta. I mean, listen, he's feeling Jaden. He is, but at the moment, Jaden is acting like she is feeling him, but ultimately we find out she isn't. So it's like, I get it though, because it's like, damn, I'm so used to seeing this person, waking up to this person, and now we are in two different spaces, and we all know how Nick could be. So, but she actually does break down crying and just, you know, she's just feeling it really bad. Meanwhile, Taylor and Clark and Ace and Shelly, you could tell like Taylor's overly going. Like, he's not even thinking about Olandria at this point. And honestly, we already know, like, Love Island kind of like already shown us that he's not ever really been feeling Olandria, at least physically. I think he just played the game. But we're gonna get to that. So the Islanders receive a text that there will be a recoupling tonight. So now everybody is like, what the fuck? Mind you, this is the first in Casa Amor history, okay? This is not how Casa Amor runs. This is not how Casa Amor goes. First off, the Casa Amor people, Islanders, are not even given this much power to be able to choose who they want to be with. That's not how that works. Usually you bring back the person. The main villa people bring back the person that they want if they want somebody from Casa Amor. That's how that works. So this whole dynamic was different, and at first I was not feeling it, but now it's like I get it, because this season they played a lot. They are very much so playing the game, very much so being strategic. And this was production like, gotcha, bitch. We got the last say. So I fuck with that, because I'm here for some shakeage. You know, shake some shit up. Ain't nobody, you can't lay out the cards for us. We're gonna lay them out for y'all. Respect it. So they sit down at the fire pit, both villas, and it's time for the recoupling. So they get in the text. Y'all know the text be coming through randomly. Let's see. Amaya has to stand up at the top. Let's start with Casa, actually. Casa Amor. Amaya has to stand up at the top by the fire pit, of course. And they ask if anybody wants to couple up with her for them to stand up. Zach K stand up. And I don't think I was surprised, but I was like, you a freaky fucking frog. Because the only reason why you switched up on Olandria is because she wasn't kissing you. And you a freaky frog. Like, what the fuck? But so he stands up, which means Zach and Amaya is now a couple, which means Olandria is single and vulnerable. They send another text and ask who wants to couple up with Olandria. Nobody stands up, which I wasn't shocked with, because she didn't really talk to nobody else for real. She is very much stuck on Taylor. She did say multiple times that she missed her man. She missed Taylor. So even said like, I hope he ain't cheating. So, and that's just so unfortunate, because her being so stuck up on him, she's not even like giving anybody else a chance. But so nobody stands up. So they send Olandria a text that says she has to pack up and leave the villa. The girls break the fuck down. I'm talking about, this is the biggest breakdown I've ever seen, especially on this season. When the girls leave, the other girls don't really give a damn. I mean, I'm not gonna say they don't give a damn, but the way they cried and bawled their eyes out for Olandria was different. Huda's letting out a scream, falling on the floor. Shelly is in shambles. Like, Amaya, no. She said, girl, come sit by your man. But she did tell Amaya that she wasn't mad at her. Mind you, before the recoupling, Amaya had pulled Olandria to the side and basically told her like, yeah, we shared a kiss or whatever. And, you know, just being open and honest with her. So that's why she was saying, I'm not mad at you. I appreciate you for telling me and giving me a heads up, but I am not mad at you. She didn't say like, I'm gonna get my cowboy, because they like, Taylor gonna be sick. Is he? Is he? Because he's cupcaked up with Clark, kissing all on her, all type of shit. Is he? So back in the main villa, the guys are also having a recoupling, and basically TJ is single and vulnerable, so he stands up by the fire pit. They send a text asking who wants to couple up with him. Vanna stands up to couple up with him. So now they are a couple. Since Vanna was coupled up with Ace, he is now single and vulnerable, so he stands up at the fire pit. Coco stands up for him, and now they are a couple. Since Coco stood up for Ace, Taylor is now single and vulnerable, but Clark stands up for him, and now they are a couple, which leaves Nick single and vulnerable. They asked if anybody wants to stand up for him. Nobody stands up. Now, of course, we thought Jaden was going to stand up, because who would choose Austin over Nick? Let's be fucking for real. But clearly, she ain't got the sense God gave her. So she don't stand up, which means Nick has to leave the villa. The boys, mainly Ace and Taylor, shambles. Shambles. I'm talking about crying. They were crying, bro. Holding each other. Once Nick left out, they was literally hugging each other, like still in tears, crying or whatever, telling each other they love each other. So I'm like, goddamn. So Olandria and Nick clearly had like a big impact on the villa, because they felt really, really sad. So Nick is walking out, and we get a scene of a G-Wagon pulling up. He's looking like, because he could see somebody in a car. Olandria opens the door and tells him, like, come on, hurry up, get in the car, get in the car. He runs to the car, and that was the end of the episode. So now everybody is geeked, because me personally, I also cried when Olandria left. I was in tears. I was in tears, and I don't give a fuck what y'all say. It ain't that serious. I love when a show can evoke emotion out of me. Actually, that's the only type of shows I want to watch. So, and that's also the kind of we needed, because Love Island was starting to get a little boring. It was, and that's cool, because it's not gonna be fun every single episode. But it was starting to get to like, it just was becoming too strategic for me. You know, shake some shit up. Let these niggas know they ain't running shit. So I appreciated that. Basically they left us on a cliffhanger, but that was a clear indication that they were not going home. And a lot of people on social media was pointing out the fact that they said you are being, you have to leave the villa, not being dumped, and not also saying you're dumped from Love Island. Also, I want to point out the fact that Ariana, when she was explaining to Casa Amor in the main villa about how Casa Amor is going to work, letting everybody know they single and they get to recouple up with new people, she did say that everyone was coming back. So emphasis on everyone. Episode 21 starts off with Nick and Olandria on a date. Yes, they are on a date. A table in the middle of nowhere with a bunch of candles and stuff going around. Basically they are sitting and chatting about how they don't know what the fuck is going on, and things are getting a little weird. Basically, they both break down what's going on in each other's villa. Now, Olandria did tell Nick about Shelly and the fact that she's with somebody who is 6'8". She also told him about Elon and Sierra, but she did say that, I think she said that Sierra was on the fence about how she's feeling with everything. Nick did tell her about Taylor and Clark, and she was like, well, if a physical connection or just because he's attracted to somebody physically can fuck up what we got, he wasn't really my man. And he ain't. He's not, okay? And I wish she would have just believed that at that moment and moved forward how she was supposed to. But she said that and moved as if she didn't even really think that, okay? So they receive a text that say, you can either stay single and leave the villa now, leave the island now, or couple up together and go back to the villa. Of course, they choose to couple up and go back to the villa. Nick starts to profess his love for her. We all know that Nick and Olandria do have a little physical connection, chemistry. They love choosing each other. Well, Nick loved choosing her for challenges to kiss. Clearly, he's attracted to her. She's attracted to him. So he starts to break that down and say, you know, I do want to give this a chance and see where this could go. So they both agree to do that. They sneak into the villa while the rest of the islanders are coupled up, so nobody sees them. You know, I mean, coupled up while the rest of the islanders are in the bed, so nobody sees them. In that moment though, Taylor was coupled, like, I mean, Taylor was cuddling Clark though. So I'm like, fuck. And you could tell that Olandria was trying to look over and see what she could see from that bed. But whatever. Morning time comes and Nick and Olandria hop up instantly like, hey, Islanders. And everybody is shocked. They're like, what the fuck? So, of course, all the guys are excited to see Nick. And I'm talking about Taylor fucking jumped over Olandria damn near to get to Nick, bruh. I said, is this nigga serious? Like, is he out of his goddamn mind? I was embarrassed for Olandria, not even just embarrassed. I wanted to beat Taylor's ass, cause what? Like, even if you ain't feeling her physically, the fact that y'all had built this friendship, whatever it could be, your respect for her, to go up to her first, go up to Nick first is wild, G. It's wild and it's mad fucking disrespectful. On so many levels, like on so many levels. And I understand you are building this connection with Clark, but that was your original connection. So if Clark feels some type of way about you greeting Olandria, that's crazy. Like, you feel me? I ain't gonna lie, that shit triggered me. It triggered me. But yeah, so of course he ends up seeing Olandria or paying attention to her, so he gives her like a hug. But then he goes back to hug Nick. And he's like, got him hugged. Like his arms is over his fucking, on his shoulders. Nick got him by his waist. And he's like really, like he his girlfriend. Taylor, are you cool, bro? Like, I was like, oh yeah, Taylor, he got to go. You gotta go, my boy. Like, you gotta get up out of here. Because just the plain disrespect on her face is crazy. So, of course, everybody is happy to see them or whatever. Clark on the other end, she is like, she mocks Olandria. She say, good morning, Islanders. And then she also said, I want to know what's going on over there. Like, what's tea? So the Casa Amor girls go up to the dressing room to start getting ready before Olandria comes in. And they are talking about, like, Olandria, for the most part, like, well, you know, how does Clark feel, whatever. And Clark ultimately says she still feels the same way about Taylor. She still wants to explore. Olandria ends up coming in, and the girls are pretty nice to her. Coco is really nice. She's the one who's asking her the most questions. And Olandria is like, I'm shocked that y'all are actually like nice to me or whatever. I expected y'all, you know, to kind of be rude, you know, because y'all are going after my man. And they pan to Clark and she make like a face. But you know, Love Island could be producing that. Like, you know, they could be taking clips from another moment and showing that. But Clark, just her vibe is nice, nasty. She has a very nice, nasty vibe to her. And yeah, at the moment, not feeling her either. Not because she is in a connection with Taylor. I could give a fuck about that. I actually think Taylor coupling up with Clark is perfect because they clearly like each other. And it probably gives him a reason or like to tell Olandria he ain't really feeling her. But he don't even do that. He don't even do that, okay? That's what I was mad at. That's what I'm mad at with Taylor. He's not keeping it real with Olandria. It's not about him having another connection. It's not about him liking this new connection more. It's not about none of that. It's the fact that he's not keeping it real with this girl. When you've been given so many opportunities. Even before Casa Amor, you've been given so many opportunities. It's like you're acting like a little ass boy. Now back at Casa Amor, the girls, it's morning time for the girls too. And of course, they are still sad. They are still sad and shaken up by Olandria leaving. They, like, it's just dull in the fucking Casa Villa for them because they miss their girl. Taylor and Clark are having a conversation and Clark is basically like, you know, I know Olandria is here or whatever, but I still like you. I still want to explore this connection. And Taylor is basically reaffirming like this is not going to change anything between us. Like, but I'm still going to explore her as well as you. Not feeling him. Nick and Olandria talk and she is telling him like, you know, it is a little awkward to see him like be around somebody else and have that connection with somebody else. But she did admit that they look good together. So, you know, she ain't no hater. Ain't no hater in her blood. Once again, Ace has to pump up Taylor to go talk to Olandria. Like, little ass boy, literally. Why do another grown ass man have to tell a grown ass man to go talk to the girl that he was previously coupled up with? You're a bitch. Like, oh my God, she is so lummy. But so he gets his little ego pumped up to go talk to her. He pulled her for a chat, and he basically tell her like, yeah, we did kiss. I am feeling her. I do want to explore both connections. And you could tell she was a little taken aback by the kiss, because like y'all started as a slow burn or whatever. But Alandria is like, yeah, I understand we had a little bit more time or whatever to build a connection, and I think our foundation is a lot deeper than just physical. You know, her same little shit she going on with them. The Islanders receives a text that they're going to have a kissing challenge between both villas. Of course, if you watch Love Island before, you know this happens. I did like that this episode brought like a little bit fun back in. Everybody was a little sad with the Nick Alandria shit, the Hannah and Jeremiah shit. So this brought back a little bit of life into Love Island. Now, ultimately, the girls, I mean, Casa Amor won. Casa Amor won. I don't really want to break down the kisses. It was pretty like, what the fuck they do or whatever. Chris and Shelly did have a good kiss or whatever, and she actually won hers. And in the main villa, they said who won, and Pepe was like, or somebody said, well, y'all know who that was, and everybody was in agreement that was Shelly, because they was like, yeah, Shelly's a good kisser. And Pepe said, well, Chris must have been doing a lot. And Ace is like, what the fuck, like screaming literally. Who else had like a cool look? Hooded and Chris had like a little moment too, and Chris did say like he's on her radar now. Elon and Sierra even had like a little, I think theirs was probably one of the best kisses out of the challenge, so that was cool. Yeah, outside of that, nothing really stood out. So at the end of the episode, Taylor and Clark go to the dock, and they do share like a little moment in another kiss. He's feeling a girl. Like I said, he's overly going. He's head over heels. He's smitten. Okay? And Clark got this little smirk to her. I'm sorry. She just give nice nasty. I'm not feeling her. Her comments is just nice nasty. Everything about her just rubs me the wrong way. So, yeah, they're having a talk. And then Nick and Alandria go to Soul Ties to talk. Now, they do end up sharing a little kiss. Like, it was one of them ones or whatever. Meanwhile, Sierra's having a talk with Elan, and he's basically like, can I have a kiss? And she denies him. She like, I don't want to form a connection or see how the connection could work based off of physical kissing, cuddling type shit. She's like, she's thinking of Nick. And she's like, I'm hope Nick is giving me that same respect. Not really, sister.